YouTube, are there 17 people out there, or are there 14 people out there? It was 17, then it was 11, now it's 4. I'm very confused, and I'm also Bill Sylvie, which is an equally confusing state of mind to be in. How the heck are you guys? It's good to see you, and it's good to be seen by you. I'm not just Bill Sylvie, I'm also the Dungeon Delver, and welcome to the show. And if you've newly subscribed and you don't know what it is we do around here, 5 nights a week, we live stream tabletop role-playing game goodness. Whether it's news, views, rants, bants, guests, art, live plays, I'm here for you, man. I'm here for you because I care about you guys. How are you all? I hope you had an absolutely fantastic weekend. We've got a great one coming up, but it's not just my show. I'm not even going to soft announce it, though. I want to let the other powers that be get involved in that. But welcome to the show. If you haven't already, please do click the subscribe button. Click the bell icon for notifications if that's not an automatic thing. And also, I'd like to remind you guys, this show is brought to you by our friends at Hellebarde Games. Hellebarde makes the kind of adventures they like to play, whether it's for Castles and Crusades, for the OSR, or for 5th edition. Old School is in play at the table, and you can check them out on DriveThruRPG or on their website, hellebardegames.com. They are linked below. But anyway, Monday just got a whole lot cooler, says Robert Phillips. Hey, what can I tell you? I'm the king of cool. By which I mean my body temperature is unnaturally low. Send help. Jimmy Invictus, greetings. I see you guys out there. Dennis Franz, loved you a Sipowitz. Oh, no, that's Adam Franz. Still love you, guy. Timothy Imholt. Mercury Wells was first. It's a fake. I don't even like DS9, and I love that meme. Jack Photon. Hello, Damien. Derek Mann. It's Derek Mann. Unresters with Hypercam is apparently a displacer beast. I had suspected. Of course I'm the king of cool, Timothy. Of course I am, man. Timothy Imholt, who has shown up in my chat. And that brings us to announcements for the coming week. Of course, tonight is just open blather, just like we blathered a little bit on Friday night. Oh, and I do want to, before we launch into that, okay, so if you signed up to the show to see the live plays, and you're like, hey, I can't wait to check out Gaming World, we had kind of a perfect storm in a bad way on Friday night. Connect's husband, very ill. We're hoping he's doing a lot better. Better not see in the audience, Connect. Watch this afterward, or watch it and don't comment. Take care of the mister. Yang was sick as a dog, as the Zep says, out on the tiles, or sick again. And poor Kevin, you know, he had to do the computer work late at night on a Friday. So I thought, well, you know, just going with Doomsword probably isn't going to get it. So we skipped Friday night, and then I showed up late, and then I ranted, and you guys watched. And it was fun. But anyway, and then my weekend was super busy. So to get back to this week, tomorrow night, we play first edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons live for you guys, and that's going to be a lot of fun. I hope at least one of you likes AD&D. I have been led to believe that some of you enjoy first edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. So if that's the case, then you might be interested in tomorrow's show. Maybe not. You'll have to tell me. But yeah, we have our first edition AD&D game. It's miniatures, Dwarven Forge. I will have the cameras working. Wednesday night, Kyle is back again on Wednesday night, and hopefully we'll have our crew lined up so we can send off Conflict in grand style. I'm looking forward to seeing if that's going to happen. Thursday, I don't know that I'll do it quite so musically. Thursday, you see that guy over there in the chat, that Timothy M. Holt dude? He's going to be here. He's going to be not here. It's not going to be here. If he showed up at my, that would weird me out. But Tim will be here as our guest, and we're going to talk about the dire financial strait of Hasbro. Is it so dire, though? Well, we're going to find out, because Tim's got a better financial brain than I do. I like to bring the expert. You know, guys, you know that about me. I don't just talk shit. I try and get people who know. When there was the Weiss-Hickman lawsuit, what did I do? I brought you guys an attorney, not just an attorney, but a gamer, Ty Beard. Great shows. You should absolutely go out on the web and watch them. Aha! My Mirror Universe companion is there. You know, when I want to talk D&D art, I get D&D artists on the show. When I want to talk new game design, I get new game. That's what I do. That's what I do for you guys. I do that. So Tim's going to be here Thursday. Friday, we are going to play. We are going to play some Gamma World. Hopefully, crossing my fingers, knocking on wood, doing something with a horseshoe. If I had a horseshoe, I'd be doing that. Timothy says, PhD physics, 10 or more years working in the startup and VC world. By VC, I can only assume you mean either Victoria's Cross or Viet Cong, but we'll find out. Goblin Scribe loves the Le art, or E art. No, one E, I know. And that brings us to next week. Now, normally I go like, and then we start over next week. Next week, we've got a special guest on here. Next week, we've got a special guest on here, and I am hyped. Like, I am pre-hyping this, because this is going to be cool. This is going to be cool because next week, Richard Witters, who you may not know, is previously the art studio lead for Dungeons & Dragons, art director for Larian, and lead concept artist for Magic the Gathering. Richard's going to be here next week. And I'm so excited about that. I just can't hide it. So that's pretty cool. And then I said I am the king of the pronouns. And then guess what? Chicken butt. You know why? Chicken thigh. The week of the 7th of March, lousy Smarch weather. Guys, the one and only Pat Kilbane will be on the show on Thursday. Pat Mad TV Kilbane. Pat Seinfeld Kilbane. Pat The Dreams in Gary's Basement Kilbane. I'm excited about all the guests. Guys, we have a super duper lineup of guests over the next 3 weeks. If you miss the live streams, guys, these are going to be the 3 episodes you're going to be like, I got to watch these. I got to listen to these. So it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. So that's what's coming up down the line. And I'm super excited about that. I have no miniature diorama tonight. The cameras were playing up. I've got to put in time tomorrow to finishing those, to fixing those, to finish fixing those. I will get now. If you guys see, you can support us on Patreon. You can support us via YouTube membership. Yes, Derek, man, that is exactly what I was thinking of. Do not touch Willie. Good advice. So our $10 patrons every month, that's in massive sartalics. Every month, our $10 patrons get a free short first edition Advanced Dungeons & Dragons adventure written by yours truly or by my co-host Kyle. Kyle did Black Mountain Delve back in September? I think. Anyway, I lagged a little bit. I got the December one out week before last. The January one is coming out this week, and the February one is also coming out this week. So those will be coming, and if you want to support the channel and get a free adventure every month, well, you get it in exchange for your support. You can click the YouTube membership button. Is it down here or is it over here? You guys will have to tell me. It's one of those two places, or you can support us on Patreon at the $10 backer level. That's what you get. Maybe you'll like it. Maybe you won't. I don't know. I hope you do. I'm sure you'll let me know if you don't. So those are all coming this week. And then we look forward to March. There's 40 of you guys out there. I hope I get 40 likes on this video. I really do. I really do hope I get 40 likes on this video. But welcome one and all. Please sit down. Pull up a chair. Luther, move over a spot. Make some room. Mercury, pull that ottoman over here. No, the taller one. Thank you. But anyway, Daniel Rowan says he's elderly. It ain't the years, it's the miles, my friend. The Dave. Speaking of people who are going to be on this show soon, the Dave, because the Dave has a post-apocalypse RPG. And we're going to talk about it. The Dave is going to be here. Thank you, Cal. I appreciate that. Meteor Key Press, tutoring math, very good. RPG Grandma, who broke my heart and changed her avatar on Twitter. But anyway, my inner wild man killed my inner child and stuffed his body into a trunk that he buried in a field somewhere. That probably just got me demonetized. 17335. Thank you. But anyway, so, oh my gosh, we're rapidly approaching my age in watchers. We just need 9 more viewers, and we will be. This is a lot of people. So if you've never watched before, if you haven't watched the show before, please let me know you're out there by leaving a super chat. I'm kidding. I mean, you can, but like, I only jokingly rattle the tin cup, guys. So let's move on. Now, how many of you guys want to hear the RPG new? Oh, I see. I mentioned supers and I lost somebody. Thank you, Orbital. Here. You know what? Here, you said it. There. I always do that. The zero orbital. Thank you. Anyway, Steel Mongoose is a great old one. That's right. No, I melted down on Friday, Mercury. It's all good. So do you guys want, this is like a combination of RPG news, which I've kind of told you about already, or you may have gotten through osmosis. Jones, the Chris Rock animated cartoon from the 1990s. Plus some personal news. And it's pretty damn big. Now, I am automatically suspicious of a lot of things that have to do with things that I've written for Gary Gygax, unless I have been proactive and made things happen with them. We're Eldar, Jorge. We're Eldar. We're Tolkienian elves, man. from the Undying Lands where Eldar. That was an Osmosis Jones joke. That's right, Jimmy. No, I promise you, you could watch every live stream on YouTube tonight. You could have that many tabs open. I'm the only one that's going to make an Osmosis Jones joke. Oh, we got so close. We just tickled 50. No. RPG Grandma, no. I have to be. Let me tell you guys a story. Let's get serious. Let's bring it down a little bit. And I'm being serious. I poured my heart and soul. I stayed up late at night. Like before I did it, before now when I do it because my my brain is broken. Back when my daughter was 1 and I was going to be staying up late anyway, I worked on multiple manuscripts for Gary Gygax. I communicated with Gary on an almost daily basis. I took on more and more responsibility as authors working on the Yegsburg project, which is a recreation of Gary's vision of a city of Greyhawk and environs for Castles and Crusades as writers left for various reasons. Oh my gosh, we're at 51 viewers. Thank you so much. I put my heart and soul into what I wrote. And I've told you guys, I know I've told you guys this story before. I didn't read the guidelines at first, and I started writing this like completely insane dungeon crawl. And then I had never showed it to Gary, and I'd never showed it to anyone. Gary sent out an all hands email to the mailing list and said, "Hey, I've seen some stuff from some of you guys, and it's clear you're not reading the instructions I sent you. Please make sure you're adhering to the writing guidelines for your districts." So I had to start over. Oh, bye, Luther. But anyway, I put a lot of work into it. And then when Gary asked if someone would like to take on an adventure module, I said yes, unquestionably. And I was handed the assignment for the Teeth of the Barkesh Nor. I finished my town districts. I sent them along. And then I started the Teeth of the Barkesh Nor. Gary sent me his note, 4 pages of maps, 4 pages of notes. And by pages of notes, guys, I wish I could show you how sparse these were, how skeletal these were. Yeah, Meteor Key, it's like that. So Meteor Key, you might know what's coming. Oh, bye, Dungeon Delvers. I'm losing viewers. Quick, someone super chat to convince them to stay. Anyway. Hey, Ty Beard, I said your name and you Ty Beard. There he is. Ladies and gentlemen, Ty Beard is in the audience tonight. Ty is a swell dude and a gamer. Although, you know, he did leave a fella holding the basket for some gaming the last time he was in Orlando, but the hair stood up on your neck right on. Well, it's like that percentage chance in D&D. If you say a demon's true name, they'll appear, and here you are. I put my heart and soul into those works, especially into Teeth of the Barkesh Nor. And Gary passed away. And a couple of months went by. And we were assured, because TLG was assured. I am not assigning any blame here, okay? If you guys think some polemic against TLG is coming, it's not. That everything was smooth sailing. Yang Yan Zhao, hello. Gail took advice from someone that with Gary gone, the best thing for her to do was cancel all contracts. And so she did. And that was the end of all of our projects. Teeth of the Barkesh Nor went to, well, everything went to Trollord Games. Teeth of the Barkesh Nor went to Trollord Games before Gary passed away. Frank Mentzer inserted himself into the conversation about the publication for Teeth of the Barkesh Nor, looked at the manuscript before Gary did, lied to Gary, told Gary I had broken SRD legal rules, and then it was unpublishable, which I later found out is Frank Mentzer's MO. That was what was said to me anyway. I went to Gary, apologized, and said, I can fix it. Because I believed it. When Gary said, hey, this is what's wrong with it, instead of pulling up my manuscript and looking through it and saying, no, he's not telling you the truth, Gary, I took it at face value. Why would Frank Mentzer tell a lie about me? Well, when I found out about his previous involvement in the Teeth of the Barkesh Nor, I understood it. So it didn't get published, and I thought it would never get published. When I looked at it later and realized that Frank had lied to Gary and lied to me, I was very angry, and I'm still angry at him. No, Ty, I'm not. I will not. No tengan mas dinero. You know how it is. So time went on. I thought the whole thing was forgotten. Gail made some noise about eventually publishing our stuff, but of course she never did. Trollord Games has found themselves in the position, because of the current ongoing issues with Gary's estate, that they are making money to pay the courts, basically, for probate. And this is something I could... I would love to have you on the show about, Ty, actually, if you've got some free time in the coming weeks. We can talk about legal stuff. Let me know. A few weeks ago, Wheeling Dragon, hello, how are you, darling? Trollord Games announced that they were going to publish the Yigsburg districts, that it was in the works. They never contacted me. They never contacted Don McVitie. They didn't contact any of the people who had done stuff. Wheeling Dragon, good thoughts to you. I'm sorry you had a rough week. Well, I must admit, I did copy their Facebook announcement, highlighted the thing about the Yigsburg districts, put them on blast on Twitter, and I said, "Are you gonna contact us? What's going on with this?" They contacted me and put me in contact with a project lead. Yes, Ty, he did. That is correct, Ty. To answer your question about Gary's passing. So here's the big announcement with 59 of you guys here. Almost nice. 10 shy of nice. If things align properly, there is a very high percentage chance Teeth of the Barkesh Nor, Citadel's End, Rivergate, Newtown, and Farm District, all written by me under the auspice of E. Gary Gygax, will see publication. Let me just repeat that, just for the people in the cheap seats. There is a very big chance Teeth of the Barkesh Nor and the other works I did with Gary Gygax will see publication. I don't know if it is a 100% chance. I couldn't give you a percentage chance. And if anyone from Troll Lords catches wind of this or is watching this in the background on an anonymous tab, or if you give a damn, I am not throwing any shade your way, but you have to understand something. I want all of you people, every one of you, I don't care how old you are now, I want you to think about that formative age when you're 8, 9, 10, 11 years old. You know, say between 7 and 11, when you think about what do you want to do when you grow up? Because when I was 11 and I moved to Florida and I had no friends, see, it was rich, nerdy kids who had Apple IIs and Atari 2600s and lived in the ritzy part of the side of town that I lived on that played D&D. And I saw that, and I read Tolkien, Leiber, Howard, and it spoke to me, and I wanted to play it. And after a year of immersing myself into it as much as I could, I thought, at the tender age of 11, how cool would it be to do this, to work with this Gary Gygax guy? That was what I wanted to do at that time. I didn't want to hang drywall. Didn't want to be a football player. Didn't want to be a baseball player, astronaut, doctor. I wanted to write fantasy stereo instructions for a little publishing company out of Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. That's what I wanted. And with grit, with pluck, with the determination, and just bullheadedness, I forced my way to the front of the line, and I said, I want to work for you, Gary. I knew it wouldn't pay more than pizza and beer money at that time. I knew what the stakes were like. It wasn't actual Dungeons and Dragons. There wasn't going to be a TSR on my books, but God damn it, my name was going to be right next to Gary Gygax's. And then it all fell apart. It was taken away by a very sad and confused person and a crooked son of a bitch. And I saw hours and hours and hours and days of work and thousands of words seemingly go up in smoke. So again, if you're tuned in from Troll Lord World Headquarters, or you're a big Castles and Crusades fan, or Frank Mentzer is your Guardo Camino, you'll have to excuse me if I'm a little gun shy, if I'm a little cynical about it. But I'm closer now than I've ever been before. I'm closer now than I've ever been before. And when I saw that message without any context of reaching out to us, it got my back up. And yeah, I put him on blast on Twitter. But they contacted me back. They gave me the project lead's name. And things are moving forward. You know, for the first time in almost 20 fucking years, they're moving forward. It's not, hey, well, yeah, it'd be nice. We'd like that. Gosh, that would be. But I'll tell you something. If it doesn't work this time, I'll strip Gary's place names out. I'll strip Gary's place names out and any named NPCs. I'll put stuff in there and I'll find somebody else who wants to buy it and publish it. You guys have already gotten a piece. If you buy the Lost Crypt, thank you, Vinger. Many a vile blackguard and bad wizard came out of the House of Mincer. But thank you for the super. Well, almost 20 Mercury, 17, really. But if things work out, guys, if things work out, there we're going to have it. Let me tell you guys a little bit about the Teeth of the Bark Eshnor. I know for a fact that when Gary wrote the original notes, there was no multi-classing in D&D because this was written in 1976. Gary hadn't started working on AD&D proper. There was no multi-classing. Those notes that I saw contain the original notes for multi-classing. And at that time, now I play tested it a little bit. I won't be so bold as to say I had like design input in it, but I did play test Castles and Crusades. At the time this module would have come out, Castles and Crusades didn't either. So with Gary's permission, I actually wrote notes on how to multi-class in Castles and Crusades based on his notes that he wrote on how to multi-class in Dungeons and Dragons, because AD&D hadn't hit yet. Oh, guys. Viking hats in the back there, it's leading up a chant. No multi-classing. No multi-classing. Michael Dale asks, when are we getting a Let's Make a Module live stream? Do you want that? I tell you what, the next Thursday we don't have a guest, which it may be a minute or two. We'll do that. Savo, brother, or however are you, man? Good to see you. By the way, if you don't follow Savo on Twitter, you should. He's at Feifel the Twit, FIFLETHETWIT, all one word. Beautiful, beautiful fantasy art pieces. Mark Morrison, hello. Yeah, Savo, I wanted to talk to you about that. I got excited the last check I got. Then I realized it was all in pesos, and those zeros were essentially meaningless. But anyway. But Michael Dale, we are going to get. I think though that it's not just an adventure. What do you want? Tell me what you want, guys. I am the big AD&G jukebox for you guys. Man, we were up to 62 people watching. Now we're down to 54, which is my age, and that's a good thing. But yeah, just kick me a few ideas, Michael, and we'll do something. Old Italian lira. When you say old Italian lira, are we talking like pre-1927 or what? That's right, Ty. When is I don't know. I don't know that the trolls would want to come on. That's a good question. Do you guys want TLG on the show? I do. Was it you sent me like 5,000 Chilean pesos or 50 Chilean pesos or something one night? I was like, whoa, right. tap it. Right. Guys, I've said it before. Like you can send me like a 99-cent super thanks, and I'm over the moon. Overhill and Overdale, member for 3 months, Michael Dale. All right, I'll reach out to TLG. I'll see what they want to do. Thank you for being a member for 3 months, Michael. I appreciate your member. Wait, no. edit that, cut that, edit that out. But that's the big announcement. What do you guys think? I mean, should I get my hopes up? Should I just be like, meh, But you can understand why it'd be like, meh, right? Don't you do it. Don't you do it, Lord Cordell. Don't do it. Gary D20, howdy, good to see you. Lux, thanks for the super sticker. See, I'm just glad you guys are here, all right? I appreciate every one of you guys. I do. You know what I appreciate the most of all? That I have brought AD&D to people. A quick game of paranoia. Savo's missed the announcement. Oh, damn it. I got to start over. Hang on a second, guys. No, I'm kidding. I'm not doing the show over again. Savo, actually, if you check out my Twitter feed, I mention what's happening. But if you are coming in late and you don't know what I was talking about with the announcement, my stuff is Steel Marcus. The work I did with Trollord Games is there is a high possibility that it will see publication. There's a high possibility that my work with TLG will see publication, which is at least 3 city districts and a hey, thank you. So many memberships popping up. That thing's working out with the Chenault brothers. I hope so too. Lord Corion, thank you very much for that soup. It's a good soup. It's a tasty soup. Death Angel's 6 months membership. But anyway, I just don't want to get my heart broken again on this, guys. Man. But I'm gonna tell you. I mean, at this point, this is going to sound like, super edgy, and I don't mean it to, but I mean, at this point, it's almost like, I don't know I like, I don't have any more feelings left to hurt on the matter. I just get mad. Like, if you're going to do it, if someone was going to do it, and they were just like, oh, well, we're going to publish all this stuff and all these people disagree, and then just walked away and acted like they didn't owe us, the creators, myself, Don McVitie, Jeff Talanian, like 8 or 9 other people, Lori McVitie, if they acted like they didn't owe us anything, and we're just out there selling stuff. Oh, I would sell a cornea to a Chinese businessman so I could retain Ty's services. And at the end of the day, I would own that company. But I don't think that's going to happen. I don't feel like that's going to happen. That company, meaning whoever tried to do that. Viking Hat just dropped, speaking of announcements, Viking Hat just dropped one. He says, people should know that the next Wastrel Wednesday campaign will be channel members only. Become a member and get a chance to join up in that game if that's what you want to do. Kyle is a ruthless and efficient game master. So for the next 15 minutes, is there anything you guys would like to ask me? Anything at all? By the way, I have been remiss, and I apologize for this greatly, but I have been remiss because I have not updated many of you have become members on Patreon. And if I have not updated the credits, which I don't think I have, it was an incredibly busy weekend, I apologize. I will update the credits tomorrow. What is my favorite color? Probably green, like a dark hunter green. What is my favorite system outside of Dungeons and Dragons? Just setting aside all Dungeons and Dragons. Favorite system. This Australian guy I know put together a pretty good modern combat system called Conflict. I think you guys should check it out. 3. The answer to that question, Ty, is 3. Did you watch the commercial, man? What are my plans for all that loot when they do? Just what I do every month, try and keep my head above water. It's all I can do, is just try and keep my head above water. Sometimes I actually get my bottom lip up out of it. Did you know that? It's not always right here. Sometimes I actually get up here. Epic Fantasy says Phase Rip plus D&D OGL SRD equals Epic Fantasy RPG. $4 on digital drive-through. Please consider. Okay, Epic Fantasy RPG. Thank you, Epic Fantasy. I have a sense of humor. What's my favorite go-to restaurant? The 3D printing channel name is 3D Printing Garage. It's not live yet. Oh, sketch, yeah. How many can I eat? I could probably put down half a pie. Should I eat 1 and a salad or 2 at most if I go veg? My favorite go-to restaurant, Wa Yon Chinese. It's located next to a supermarket in a strip mall in Castleberry, Florida. Their steamed dumplings and General Tso's are the best. When's Jack Photon going to be on again? Jack will be on in late March. everybody. Jack Photon, I will bring him on in late March. I saw what you did there. Don't think I missed that. You want to see me riff on some stuff? Thank you, Mercury. Mercury says, fortune and fame await. Well, I'm already famous. I'm already famous, guys, because you guys seem to care about me. You guys seem to care about me. And, you know, I gotta say, there's a quote that came up today, and I gotta find this because it's one of my favorites. It's one of my favorite pieces of Shakespeare. So you guys are just gonna have to bear with me while I find this real quick. While I'm scrolling through. This is from Richard II. I don't do good Shakespeare reels, so you'll have to pardon me, but this is my best go. So bear with me. You have but mistook me all this while. I live with bread like you, feel want, taste grief, need friends, subjected thus. How can you say to me, I am a king? Kenneck, how is your husband? It's good to see you. It is wonderful to see you. So that's what I have to say about fortune and fame. The Dave by Greyhawk rules, some clerics get spears, others get daggers, and still some more get swords. I think maybe axes. That's good to know, Kenneck. That's good to know. Talk to Kyle about Wednesday's game, please. The presentation would be even more powerful. Well, I didn't have one to hand. I could read it again while holding my tabletop pointer if that would help you. Well, you're good people, Kenneck. You're good people. Occasional cast member. From the diaphragm. From the diaphragm, take two. Let me tell you what, the best reading of that, and I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to find this real quick. Silly you, clerics can't use edge weapons. Hey, what are you doing? Sharpening the flanges of my mace. Let me share this. Well, that actually asked me. And by the way, we're at 5,432 subscribers on the channel. Thank you guys all very much. I'm not going to strike a tar in a pose. That ain't going to happen. Don't worry about that. I have shared this with you guys on the channel before, but expand your minds a little bit, guys. 32. The answer, Lux, is 32. That is Richard Burton. I'm sorry, I said Act 2. It's Act 3, Scene 2. How many different hobbies can fit? Well, let's see. I've got 3D painting, miniature painting, Dungeons and Dragons. And I don't know. Is this channel a hobby or a job? Is it a jobby? A hob? I don't know. Yes, it costs $333 for a 2-day pass into Disney World. Oh, you know what? I'm going to tell you guys a fun story. I'm going to tell you guys a fun story, unless you guys have got like any super pressing questions. Oh, it is? Okay. All right. I don't know. A jobby hob. See you around, GR. Thank you, George. So let me see, 1, 2. I am 3 steps removed from the English art project that also produced rock and pop music called the KLF. And I am 4 steps removed from the British/American fantasy comedy Eric the Viking, for the same reasons, I might add. And would you guys like to know that story? I've told it to you. I've told a bunch of you guys before, but I will tell you that story now. I will gladly tell you that story now. But only if you guys want to see it, or hear it, rather. That KLF, Yang. That KLF, absolutely. All it's going to take is one person to say yes, and I'll tell you the story. Otherwise, the next 7 minutes are going to be very awkward. All right, Damien wants to hear it. Okay. So, Eric the Viking, as the story says, is about a Viking played by Tim Robbins. He's reluctant to do Viking stuff. He accidentally spills blood on an island. Then the son is stolen, and it's a whole kind of convoluted mess. You know, it's got some pythons in it, Monty Python type pythons. It does, Jorge. It does. It absolutely does. But there is, as you might suspect, a Viking ship in Eric the Viking. Now, there's a scene in Eric the Viking where the Viking ship is seen to be flying through space. To make it do that, a fairly authentic, albeit prop, Viking longboat had holes knocked in it, rigged for cables, and was lifted up and flown around with a gantry. And then it was sort of set off to one side. Fast forward a few years. For reasons that are too bizarre to go into now, the KLF decided to shoot a music video for their song, America, What Time Is Love? And, well, they wanted a Viking longboat on the ocean. Who had a Viking longboat that they could borrow? Well, they found one at Pinewood Studios. Big problem, it's got holes knocked in it. It's got holes knocked in it. That's not going to float. Well, we need to get it fixed. Who can fix it? Who can fix a Viking longboat so that it's seaworthy again? Or at least Pinewood Studios ocean tank water-worthy again? By the way, this is the video, in case you're curious. So they go to the local uni, as they say in the UK. They go to the local uni. And they ask the Historical Society, would you lads fix this boat for us? You can be in the video. As it happens, some folks in the history department are exceptionally interested in Norse history. The chance to work on a Viking longboat was just too exciting to them. Among those, an internet buddy of mine, co-creator of Osric, well, actually the creator of Osric, Stuart Marshall. Stu Marshall. Grab your copy of Osric, flip it open. Stuart Marshall. He is in that video. The helmeted warriors sculling the Viking longboat. One of them is Stuart Marshall. He's an all-around swell guy. Catalyst for Osric. Stuart Marshall is in the KLF video for America What Time Is Love. I know Stu. I also worked a little tiny bit on Osric. Yes, Yellowbeard is a stealth Python movie also. And there you have it. I am 3 steps removed from the KLF and 4 steps removed from Eric the Viking. Hell, I'm 5 steps removed from H.P. Lovecraft. I'm 4 steps removed from Fritz Leiber. I knew Gary. Gary knew Fritz. Fritz knew HPL. Like 4 steps from Lovecraft, 3 from Leiber, and 5 from Howard. Romans, they go the house. It means Romans go home. One step from Lovecraft with a shovel and some time. The Dave, exactly so. No. Write that 100 times or cut your balls off. Hail Caesar. You know, Jack, you know what? I know zero about Latin, and when I was a little kid and I saw that, I still thought it was hilarious. Like, I busted a gut laughing at that. You know, everybody like thinks the biggest dickest part of Life of Brian is the funniest. I just think that's kind of juvenile and silly. What have the Romans ever given us? Romans, they go the house. Let he who among you who's out sin cast the first stone. Whap. Those were the funny parts to me. Those were the truly funny parts to me. The People's Liberation Front of Judea, not to be confused with the Judean People's Liberation Front. Remember getting the KLF album at the special record store? Yeah. There was, back in the mid early 90s, there was a guy who put, before the man got involved, there was a dude who had everything, like every bit of recorded KLF ephemera he had on an FTP site, and I stumbled on it with an Alta Vista search. And I spent days vacuuming that website clean of KLF stuff on dial-up. Just days and days and days. using an early copy of WSFTP. I still have it somewhere around here. I've got a backup DVD-ROM that has the many gigs burned on it. But yeah, I went from, the White Room and the associated video to having my brain just filled with KLF goodness. It was amazing. But anyway, man, I can't believe we've had up to 62 people watching the stream tonight. And well, I tell you what, always look on the bright side of life. When was it Atlantic Conveyor? There's a British warship that got potted by a couple of exocets during the Falklands War. And when the crew was floating in the water, waiting for rescue, to keep their spirits up, these guys, literally not knowing if the ARA was going to wing by and drop bombs on them or strafe them, if the rest of the British Navy would risk a rescue in a hot battle zone. To keep their spirits up, they all started singing "Always Look on the Bright Side of Life." And I think that is pretty amazing. Michael Mertig, hello. The Sheffield, thank you, Savo. Yeah, it was Sheffield. Yep, it's funny. People younger than us don't really get, and I'm going completely off in a different direction here in the last few minutes. People don't get how damn near a thing on the ocean the Falklands War was. When the Atlantic Conveyor got drilled, the ARA thought they'd hit the carrier, the British carrier, because it was in convoy with those cargo ships. It was a near thing. It was a very near thing. I absolutely love Fat Electrician. Fat Electrician wouldn't have the faintest idea who I am. That guy's huge. If you guys don't watch Fat Electrician, he is hilarious. He boils down why America goes to war with people with, they fucked with our boats. Why did World War I, they sank the Lusitania. They fucked with our boats. World War II, Japan bombed Pearl Harbor. They fucked with our boats. Just on and on and on and on. But it always boils down to, they fucked with our boats. Yes, I'm dropping lots of F-bombs. Do you know why? I have super chats, YouTube. And the super chats tonight more than make up for what I would lose in advertising dollars on this video. Just so, Savo. Just so. Yeah, don't touch our boats. Our casus belli for further involvement in Vietnam, it was fake. There were no Vietnamese PT boats, but the Pentagon told the American people, or the government told the American people, the Vietnamese had fucked with our boats. The Gulf of Tonkin, yes. I remember sitting down to lunch with a dude who at the time was maybe 4 or 5 years younger than me. I was making some references to MASH. He'd never seen MASH. That's fine. And I start talking about the Korean War. He had no idea. He had no idea that the U.S. was involved in a major war between World War II and Vietnam. I was astounded. You did miss the announcement, Greg, but I'm going to make it again just because you got here and because I care about my I care about my my viewers. I have heard that Robin Williams bit. Yes, I have, Jorge. Operation Praying Mantis. Operation Praying Mantis. We sank most of the Iranian Navy. They fucked with our boats. Okay, so here's the announcement. Troll Lord Games is moving forward with publishing many of Gary Gygax's unpublished works. This includes manuscripts I and other writers worked on with Gary, which would entail Teeth of the Barkesh Noir among them. So that is the announcement. Yes, we are still involved in the Korean War, actually. We have like a division in Korea waiting for the North Koreans to F around and find out. Thank you, Savo. They are, Dave, they're messing with our boats. We told them not to do that. I don't have to go play AD&D. Have to. Like, that's a big thing. I can hang out for like another 20 minutes. Thank you, Kennick. That means a lot. No cap. New module gonna drop. I am dead ass serious. That is amazing, Cal. That is absolutely amazing. Big ups to your pop. Wow. I would never say that I was glad that my dad suffered a burst eardrum, but because of where my dad was working for SAC in Europe, Strategic Air Command, he did suffer a burst eardrum from the engine noises of a B-47. He left the Air Force in 1962. If he'd stayed in the... He actually was approached by some guys who were like, yeah, we're going to re-up. We're here, there's, in French Indochina. So my dad, basically being an infantryman in the U.S. Air Force, might have gone over and done some funny stuff, but he couldn't because his eardrum got burst. That's great, Cal. That is awesome. Started to look into shipping when I was looking into print runs instead of pod for Project Sunflower, and shipping is not in a good... No, it's not, the Dave. It's not. Yes, but my father was also told that it wasn't related to his military service, but they still discharged him for it anyway. He came in with perfect hearing. He left deaf in one ear. The VA has always been screwed up. Yeah, so let me tell you guys something. I love my dude, Regis Moulon. And I've showed you guys, I got these custom drawings from Regis. I got this one for Christmas last year. Regis Moulon, you should absolutely go follow him on Facebook. And I said, he was like, what do you want for your custom drawing? I said, I want a custom drawing too. Sign my book with a custom drawing. He said, what do you want? I said, I want a witch. I want a naked witch dancing by a fire. So I got this. And he says, Pour Bill tres amica lament. I don't speak France. So that's what I got. Not this past Christmas, but Christmas before last. And I promised myself I was going to get his new... Now, that cost me all total shipped to the States, 75 euros. So just south of $100. And it's not Regis's fault. He didn't change anything. So for Christmas this year, that's the same book. For Christmas this year, I got myself his other sketchbook, Heroic. He said, "What do you want for your drawing inside, Bill?" I said, "I want a good witch dancing naked by the fire." So he drew me this. That's drawn inside the book, by the way. That's drawn by his hand. He didn't like create a print and have it printed. Like, he flipped the book open and drew that. And he said, "Order it soon because shipping is about to skyrocket." This was the equivalent of like $130 US. Not because of the price of the book. You can get this book on Amazon for not too much money. And he said, "Please order before January 1st. Shipping's going to go up. I can't do anything about it." Fingers. Go back. Pause the video after the live stream. You're just gonna have to do that. YouTube gonna get me. Did she look kind of? I don't think I didn't specify an elf. I just figure they're sisters, you know. I mean, I really think it's more Regis's own style. I don't really see an ElfQuest thing going on there. I don't think that's clear enough to really get me zinged by YouTube. Oh, so I gotta tell you guys. So hang on a second. I was having a talk. Paul Stormberg and I were talking D&D art. Let me see. And I'm gonna get in trouble with you guys for this, as I have often. Let me see. But anyway, I had said before that I was not like, I love Tim Holloway. I love Jim Holloway's artwork in Paranoia, Mech Warrior, Robot Warrior for Hero System. It was a Hero System expansion back in the very late 80s, early 90s. Twilight 2000. Star Frontiers, of course. I don't like Jim Holloway's fantasy art. I don't. But I have a great respect for it in the overall. Paul told me this story about, I think he said he was talking to Dave Sutherland, God rest his soul, and they were sitting down to draw stuff. Just said, let's draw this. Let's see who can draw this. And Sutherland, LaForce, I can't remember who else. It was definitely Sutherland and LaForce sat down and they took out their pencils and they start drawing and sketching, erasing stuff, changing stuff. Someday soon, Wenger. Yeah, and Doctor Who. And they start to ink. He said, Jim Holloway takes the page, picks up a pen, and starts drawing the final, his rough sketch was the drawing. The guy was a machine. No sketches, just ink. And that's like getting a Golden Demon quality paint job without thinning your paints and painting on bare metal. Just astounding. Again, not my favorite art. Just his D&D art doesn't do that much for me. Although Glyassa in Monster Manual 2 is a hottie, I cannot deny. But by that point, TSR was so under the gun that we only have side boob. And I think that's in silhouette. New channel has not started, Michael. January and February have been relentless. Dave, I don't know. Let me see what time it is. I got to see what time it is Eastern. I got a few more minutes. My Monday night game's not live streamed or anything. I can be over there. What are you guys talking to? Daft Punk? Let me see. Can I get my Monster Manual 2 down without killing myself or anyone else? By the way, there are a bunch of you guys who won free modules from Hellabard Games. If you haven't emailed me about that, please do. Where is she? Let's see. Demon. She's a devil. She's a demon. She's a devil. Yeah, so I have this crispy, minty Monster Manual 2 that I love. I don't think that's even coming through all that good. But yeah. Little bit of side boob in shadow. Very chaste. So when people talk about, oh, I love Tui was the best D&D. It was all cleaned up. Yeah, the emphasis on clean, and I don't mean that in a good way. But yeah, no, Jim Holloway's stuff was just excellent. His clean lines in Star Frontiers, like that fired my imagination. That was what Star Frontiers looked like to me. She's just a devil woman with evil in her eyes. The purpose of the Monster Manual 2 is to kill people. Oh my gosh. Xantharian, just getting here late. I like that, Derek. You did miss the big news, Xantharian. Well, good night, guys. I am told that there is a very high probability that the work I did for Gary through Troll Lord Games is going to finally see publication. Is this a good mood? I don't know. I think this is just mania. I don't know that this is actually a good mood. This could just be like manic behavior on my part. Yeah, and they were still like, oh, well, we're going to put a dress on that. You know, oh, no, you can't see that. Thank you, Xantharian. I think so, too. I appreciate it. Thank you, Vincent Joyce. Yes, they will come out for. Okay, so someone asked me on Twitter. They said, "Oh, hey, will there be conversions for OD&D and AD&D? Not from Trollords. Trollords is going to publish them for Castles and Crusades. If they get published, if you ask me, if you come to me and say, Bill, what are these stats in AD&D? I will give you the AD&D stats. I will give you the OD&D stats for them. Maybe Trollord would let me release a service patch, or a service pack, rather, that's a change that, but honestly, just ignore everything that says prime this or prime that from the CNC system and flip the armor classes back the way they should be. My design document when I worked on Castles and Crusades, my design document was the Dungeon Master's Guide and Gary's notes. I just wrote it for AD&D and then flipped the armor classes and turned it in. Yeah, but I mean, I'll be more than happy to provide things, to provide as much information as I can. Who messages me? Guys, I was just informed of a tragedy. Don over at Hellbard Games just fell into a sphere of annihilation. My thoughts and prayers go out to the folks over at Hellbard for that loss, that sudden impending loss that's going to happen. He knows why. If he's watching, he knows why. You love those 1E homage covers? 1E homage covers. I am confused, Jorge. What do you mean? Oh, it was all pulled into the sphere with him. Sphere of annihilation, an 8-ball. This is what popped into your mind when I said who messaged me. Oh my gosh. This, I have an AD&D game to get to, but this is such a good crowd. Like, I wish we could just hang out for a couple of hours because I love you guys. If Trollord called me tomorrow and said it's not going to happen, I mean, at least we had tonight, right? Oh, the Castles and Crusade covers. Yeah, I guess these aren't the tribute covers. These are, I don't know. These are a couple of their books. I've got a Monsters and Treasures and a, wait, I did that wrong. I've got a Player's Handbook and a Monsters and Treasures, but those aren't the tribute covers. But here's the thing, when people are like, oh, Castles and Crusades, it's the best in the world. I've got this, guys. All right, this is what I want. I know Wolf Mother is a good band, but I've got Led Zeppelin to listen to. I'm not saying they're bad just because I like that, but Hellebard. I built a great. I maybe, maybe I did. Oh. Try to ask before you saw that a new Gygaxian RPG is. I was curious about it. Well, guys, yes, Jimmy, I have. Her name is Rena Reme, and I love her. Anyway. Yes, the Castle Zagging thing. But I believe in a few things. I believe in I believe in playing AD&D. I believe in natural 20s. I believe in Against the Giants. I believe in a set of funny dice given to me by an old bearded man in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. Xantharian, yes, you should just jump back to first edition AD&D. That is also what I believe. And with all that said, I believe in you guys too. Thanks for sticking around for me, guys. It's been a hell of a ride so far. Listen, we have a great guest coming this week in Timothy M. Holt. We have a great guest coming next week. We have great guests coming just nonstop. We got Richard Witters next week. Okay? So please stay tuned to the channel. As we are now getting more people coming in to watch. We got a lot of fun stuff coming. And I care about you all. So I want you all to be good to each other. Play first edition AD&D and enjoy the hell out of it. Or even original D&D. I'm easy to go with that. Saturday Nerd that's right. Oh, I almost forgot for the week's announcement. Saturday Nerd Council of Doom. Myself, Yang Yan Zhao, and Dungeon Minister. Subscribe to their channels. We'll be on Dungeon Minister's channel this coming Saturday. He'll be hosting. D&D live play tomorrow. Absolutely. And with all that said, everybody, y'all be good to each other. I love you all, and I'll see you tomorrow night. Peace. Have you seen my owl bear? Here's to all the weirdos everywhere in the woods and in the air. Have you seen my owl bear? Should I shave off all my hair? Bobs are all around. Some live in tunnels underground. Some are fat, some are rich, some are sleeping in a ditch. Can you ride a crooked horse without a saddle way off course? Naked as a toad all the way to Smoky Joe's. Have you seen the little creep driving fast in his little green Jeep? He smells like fish and brandy, but his rotten teeth look dandy. Take me to the show, I don't care if fast or slow. From action flicks to dancing dicks, just take me to the show.